wonder what would happen if I could do this. This is a rectifier. Doesn't like that. It's a lot of juice coming out of here to not drain the battery. I think you guys would probably agree. That's a lot of juice to not drain this tiny little battery pack. Contact this better. There we go. Look at that. There's wireless power all over the place that I'm not even tapping into yet. Oh, why is it weaker? It's weird. It's supposed to be really bright, actually. I think we're on a perpetual mode now. So you can see the battery's not gone down by even 1 hundredth of a volt. We're powering a 12-volt LED light strip. A whole 12-volt LED light strip brightly. That fluorescent tube is going even though it's getting washed out. You can't see it. It's totally lit. Wirelessly. And there's a major wireless field all over the place that's just being emitted everywhere. Okay, as you can see, it's just being emitted everywhere. It's all the way over here. A tiny bit even is on here. Let's see. Yeah, it barely lights, but you can see that. It's all the way over here. Okay, it's on here. I can't make it work right now. Okay. This is actually everywhere. No, I don't want to mess with it because I can cause it to, if I bump stuff, it just gets slightly imperfect. I don't want to do that. There we go. Look at that. That's a lot of juice to not drain this little tiny battery pack at all. To not drain this battery pack at all. That's 4 little rechargeable AA batteries, EBL rechargeable AA batteries. They've never been charged before. That's a brand new set, actually. I'm recharging my older set finally because I did some experimentation. I drained them down instantaneously. Within seconds, these are supposed to drain. These were draining within seconds when I didn't have it hooked up right. In seconds. This could only power this load probably for a couple minutes, if that. I'm gonna actually do a test. Once those are charged up to full, I'm gonna see how long they will power just that light right there before they go dim and die. Okay, but I saw them draining down in seconds. Now we've got all this wireless power, all this wireless field. The batteries are basically not being affected virtually at all. There's all this wireless energy. We're charging up based on the radiant energy that's coming off of here. It's just going right back into the battery. As you can see, why is it weaker now? Anyways, the battery's got radiant energy. All these cables have radiant energy. The meter has radiant energy because it's connected to the circuit. The battery's got radiant energy. It only goes down when I get in there, seem to like mess with it. It doesn't really go down much at all otherwise. What's up with this thing? What do I do with this? Disconnect that. Negative. When I touch it, it's going up, if anything. got brighter when I put this over here. Or no, it's the same. I don't think this does anything. Yeah, see, it just gets higher when I touch this. That's because something's going on. It's a 12 volt LED light strip. It's got probably about 200, maybe more, 220 lights on there. That tube is powered wirelessly. Look at the range on that tube with such a low voltage. And look how bright the light gets when I take this out of the picture. Changes the voltage, but it still stays steady. There's more of a draw without this load. When I put this load back, see, watch, it's out. Okay, and then it's on. Put it right next to this thing. Oh, what just happened? Why'd you get weird? Whatever, that just affected the voltage in here, but let me see. Why did it do that? I fucked it up just by getting near it. 4.8, we were at 4.9, so what have I done here? Seems to work forever if I just don't even mess with anything. See, I lost the... What did I do? See, there's a non-linear relationship. When I just get near this, it goes higher in the voltage that it's reading, which is weird. Seems to be kind of weird. I wanted to go back to 4.9. What do I do? See, by moving that tube, now it's a little bit higher. We're just going to leave it there. 4.82. If I could just not touch it, not mess with it. See there, it just increased. There we go, it's doing that thing. It's increasing voltage on the battery while it has this insane load on it. These are some tiny little rechargeable AA batteries. I don't think they should be powering this stuff at all for more than seconds. See, it's increasing in voltage. It's increasing. Will it keep doing it? When I back up, it's doing it. Okay. It's increasing in voltage. That is awesome. That is awesome. Our probes are connected directly to the batteries. These are 4 little AA batteries. These drain in seconds when the system is not running right. They'll drain in seconds powering these loads. That's bright. And then that thing is on even though you can't really tell that well. There's total wireless field emanating off of this, and the voltage is not getting affected on the batteries. In fact, it's, yeah. It's cycling up instead of just rapidly draining down. There, it's stabilizing. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. It's trying to stabilize it. 4.84 now. Can we get to that new level? My washing machine's going. It's causing a little bit of shaking, which I have bad wire connections in here. It's causing a little bit of this issues. But as you can see, we're already at 20 minutes on this one. I've been doing this over and over. I have hours of videos of this. It needs a high enough starting voltage, I think, to work the best. When I drain the batteries, it doesn't work as well anymore. So when I start with a certain amount of voltage, then it works really well, and they don't drain. Whatever's going on is hyper efficiency. That's obvious. Insane, like beyond. That's a lot of light coming out of this little 4 battery pack. Oh, there, it finally went down a little tiny bit. So we'll see. We're just going to try to not touch it. Yeah, what's going on is a loose wire connection to the primary coil is what's getting me here. Oh, that's wanting to come out. It's still touching. It's still touching. See, it's gone back up. It's like some nonlinear stuff going on here. Look at that, it's trying to cycle up instead of draining. Still got this wireless power all over the place. It's coming off of the meter, it's coming off of the batteries, all the wires in this whole circuit. As you can see, this is not draining. It's actually going up. We're at 21 minutes. Battery should be dead. They're not. Now it may may eventually start to go down a spec, but we'll see. It goes up too. So it's pretty wild. We'll see what happens here. I'm just gonna let this go for a while. I've got hours of videos of this already. I'm just gonna let it keep filming. And I'll just voltage check every once in a while. .82. It's a hyper efficiency, that's for sure. It's awesome. It's literally awesome. Still at 4.82. Let's see if how long it holds here. That got spec dimmer, but then that went to 4.83. See, that was way more of a dimming than a hundredth. That's the connection getting loose. There you go. 4.82. So I got the washing machine going. It's causing some vibrations. My connections are far from solid on a couple of these points. Yeah, so we're just gonna let it sit here, even though my connections aren't even good. Oh my god, this is intense. 4.82. It's not draining at all. It's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. .82, not draining at all. We got power going into the fluorescent tube, and it's going all over the place. See, it's cycling up to 4.83 and then back to 4.82, back and forth, back and forth. I think that has to do with the loose connections in here, possibly. But instead of going down like 4.81, 4.80, 4.7, 4.6, it's trying to cycle up to 4.83 over and over. It was doing that before, like 10 minutes later, it's still doing that. It's trying to cycle up. So it's at this balance point where it's receiving back essentially equal energy. The batteries are receiving back equal energy to what they're spending. And none of this is optimized to charge the batteries. This is just, I just stuck a couple antennas on the batteries and like a couple wires on it, 2 poles, and it's just boom. There's not even radio frequency diodes or anything on these antennas. It's just the batteries are acting like diodes, I guess, so it can charge itself from the radiant energy that's coming off of this whole system. It's pretty much unbelievable. I'm just going to try to show you, see if it's still, show you the cycling. it was just going back and forth to 4.83 a whole bunch. Anyways, it's still at 4.82. You can see that. So it's not quite continuing to charge while it's running, but it's just keeping 100%. It's just running constantly. It's just recycling the energy. It's constantly recycling. There's no other explanation. We're at just about 30 minutes now. I don't know what the explanation is. See, it's wanting to cycle up. It should have been drained within minutes. I think it should have been drained within minutes. We're gonna do a test to see how long the batteries last, just connected directly with none of the circuitry. How long will they power this light? Because I saw the batteries rapidly draining in seconds before. "28 minutes and we haven't gone down in voltage at all. Not even 1/100th of a volt. We haven't gone down." I messed with it. When I mess with it, it can read a different number on here, but then it'll just hold just like this. It'll just stay there. Whatever number is going through the system, then it just holds because it's feeding back to the batteries, and it's an equal amount of energy back apparently. So we're doing this kind of Bedini type of thing where it's just using energy, but then it's just going back to the battery, and it just goes back to the battery. It doesn't get used up. It just circulates through this type of a system. That tube is lit, even though you can't really see it. That tube is totally lit, showing there's a huge wireless field. Even though, see, it just went to 4.83 for a second, even though it's doing this total thing. See if it does it again. It doesn't like when I get next to it. It's just wanting to have its own space. You see, this is impossible. This battery should be drained. These are rechargeable rechargeable AA EBL batteries. They're 2800 amp hours, which is pretty good amount of juice, but I'm combining it. Yeah, I mean, maybe all I can do is connect the same battery pack to this light and see how fast does it discharge the batteries even with no wireless field. And here we have all this radiant energy coming off of here on top of it. We've got all kinds of radiant energy on top of show this tube how bright it actually is, but you can't quite see it, but it's lit. You can see that much. See, we're still at the same thing, 4.82. It's been 33 minutes. We're at just about 33 minutes. We're running a 12 volt light strip. It's a 12 volt light strip off of a little 5 volt battery pack. This thing takes a good amount of juice. There's over 200 LEDs on there. This tube is lit even though you can't tell that well. There you go. It's a UV tube, so you can see that blue color coming off of there. There's radiant energy all over the whole system. It's everywhere. I'm not even capturing what I think I could. And we're still just cycling at 4.82 this whole time. I've seen it going up. I've seen it go down a speck. If it goes up to 4.83 again at any point, that will be insane. You can't have this baby, you can't have your batteries increasing their voltage under load. It's impossible unless there's no actual thermodynamic laws, which we're not going to talk about. Just doesn't want to drain the battery. It's very special. It doesn't want to drain itself. At the very least, we're at 99.999% efficiency is what it's looking like. I mean, it's more than that, because even at 100% efficiency, the battery would be dead by now. Yeah. We haven't gone down even 1/100th of a volt powering this. Does that make sense? See how bright it is if I go across the room here. It's a good amount of juice coming out of that little tiny little 4 AA battery pack. It's lighting up the room plenty to see at night. And this is with really shoddy connections that are not even connected. My black wire is just touching the primary. It's not even like properly connected at all. It's barely touching it. It's still contacting it, so then this is not actually connected, and then these are the shoddiest things you've ever seen. It's just kind of precariously touching there. That's just kind of shoved in there. There's no connections in there. And this one is not connected. It's just barely touching the primary. You can see it right there. It's barely touching it. It's not connected actually, like with anything. Oh, I just got close to it. When I get close to it, it's the only thing that can mess it up. You just tap the table. There you go. is it possible? How is it possible? We're at just about 37 minutes continuous runtime. I'm alone in here. There's no tricks. There's no trickery. It's getting dark, as you can see. I actually gotta go soon. And we haven't drained the battery at all. It's charging itself at an equal amount that it's draining, which is really hard to believe. Of course, that is hard to believe. As long as I don't touch it or mess with it, it seems to just keep doing this on and on and on. Sometimes it can eventually just drop like 1/100th of a volt, and then it can drop another 100th of a volt, but it takes like hours to do that. And I've seen it go up as well, at least as much. So that's like a non-linear relationship. So we're at 38 minutes on the dot. 38 minutes. I haven't eaten it again. I gotta go. I'll probably just let this watch while I go shower. That's a lot of light to come out of this little tiny battery pack. It's the battery pack. It is just chilling. It's too dark to see this now. Turn this light on. As you can see, we're holding strong. We're holding strong. It was at 4.9 volts at one point, and then I messed with it, and I wish I didn't, because it changed instantly. Like, based on the positions and the connections here, it'll change, but then I just left it. Whenever you just leave it, it just stays the same. It's like it can't get drained. It won't do it. Now the real kicker is that in the end, I'll let this just keep running for hours. And then when I test the battery pack again at the end, I can disconnect it all and I can test the voltage. And if I let it sit for like a few minutes, then I test the voltage and it goes back up to where it was when I started, which is pretty shocking, or even possibly higher. We're going to see this time. It was at 5.12 volts fresh right out of that box right there from the factory. I've had this for like a few months and I've never charged it. I've never used the batteries. The other older pack, I messed with them too much and they're just charging because I saw them drain instantly in seconds, massively drain. Like in 1 minute, it could drain a whole volt off of them. So, but when it's running properly like this, it doesn't drain. I just opened this pack. It's right here. It was at 5.12 volts from the factory. And the batteries are just recharging. And these are not even probably the most efficient absorbers of this type of energy. There's no diodes on these little antennas. See, that's just like a radiant receiver. That's just a piece of copper. It's not connected to anything. It's just free floating, but it's close to the it's pretty close to the source here, so it can receive energy, and then it's contacting it with just that little side of that metal bar right there. oops, it's contacting right there. This other side's plastic, so it's not contacting there. It's just contacting that one side, and then it goes through this antenna back to here, right where the probe is, the red side going to the battery, and here's the black side going to the battery, and the black antenna comes over here and just sits right there. It's not connected to anything. Okay, and then this cord is powering the black side of the circuit up to here, right there at that connection. And as you can see, that's connected to the other side of the primary coil here. That's the loose bag connection there. And then the red circuit is going from here. Where is it going to go? It's going here, up here, all the way up here, there, and then that's where it connects to the circuit. And then this comes back down into the circuit. Okay, now I was getting close to it, which is kind of messing it up. There, it's still at 4 point. It's trying to hold strong at 4.82. We're at now at 43 minutes. 43 minutes. Can we hold strong at 4.82? It's doing it. Give it a little tap. That's freaking awesome. This light's been on the whole time. This light's on. Can't really see the fluorescent that well, but it's on. This is kind of crazy. I don't think this is possible. Oh, it just hit 4.83. I just saw it. Do it. It's because there's a bad connection in there. When the load goes down, then this voltage does climb higher. When the load goes up, then the voltage goes lower. But either way, it just sits there and stays at the same voltage. However way I run it, it just stays at the same voltage. The batteries don't drain. I'm gonna go take a quick shower and I'm just gonna let this film. When I come out of the shower, if we're still holding at 4.82, then yeah, what else can you say? We're at 45 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 45 minutes on the dot. And we're holding at the same voltage here. That's the battery pack. That's it. A double A double A rechargeable batteries are not even 1.5 volts. They're like 1.2 volts. They go up to 1.3 or so at full charge. And the battery pack, when not under load, I just opened it before this, and there's the package it came from. I just opened it, and it was fully charged at 5.12 volts. So what I'm going to show here is that after hours of running this, all this wireless field out here that I'm not even collecting, this is wired into the primary coil. It's just wired connection. It's putting out plenty of light for this whole room at nighttime to let me see. It's a perfect light for nighttime. And I'll show at the end of hours of running this that the batteries will be at the same voltage when I started. They'll be at 5.12. They might even be higher. If I let them sit for a few minutes after I disconnect this, the voltage climbs back up in the batteries. It goes down by up to like 5/100ths, but then after 5 minutes it goes back up to 5.12 or even higher. There's no explanation for that. It's not possible. You see how this is just holding forever. It's just holding. It won't drain. I'm so happy right now. I'm so tired too. It won't drain. So I've actually done it. God definitely helped me because I just used a little tiny bit of intuition. Oh, I think it flashed 4.83 for a sec. Did it? Either way, it's just holding. Jesus, let's get a 4.83 here. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Just show everyone the 4.83 that you can do. Oh, I know you can do it. I've seen it flash 4.83 multiple times just tonight, just doing this during this session. I've seen it flash 4.83 multiple times. But regardless, it's just holding, holding, holding. You can see with the frequency of how it's going back and forth, at about a 50-50 clip, that's holding at a neutral level. It's perfectly balanced. It's not draining nor charging. It's just holding steady perfectly, which is pretty shocking. It is. It is shocking. You can't drain, thank God. This is the everlasting light. There's all this wireless field coming off of here that I can tap into more. If I had a whole bunch of actual resonant coils and like resonant antenna receivers, this would be charging possibly. I don't know what it would happen. This would be increasing in voltage while I have this huge load on it. This is this tiny little battery pack. It's powering this 12-volt light strip plus this whole wireless field that's coming off of it. I've got wireless radiant energy coming off of each part of this. If you look near anything connected, it's got radiant energy. See, every wire has this radiant energy. I'm just going to go shower and we're just going to check this voltage after that. This is like effing me up right now. I can't function or do anything else. I have to eat so bad. I've barely eaten in like a couple weeks, like literally less than one meal a day. I haven't been sleeping normally whatsoever for a while. Got down on my hands and knees and prayed recently, like crying, kind of praying. And then a miracle happened, which I did not expect. In the time when you least expect it. That's what they always say, and it's really true. The time when you really least expect a miracle, it tends to happen, but that's because that's the one time you get closer to Jesus when you haven't been enough at all. You get closer to Jesus and you just talk to him, and then you might not hear exactly what he says right back to you, but he's hearing you and he's helping you. And these kind of miracles actually are real. And that's why they tend to happen when you least expect it, because you're in your worst, lowest time. You talk to Jesus, you talk to God, and the miracles happen. It's been my experience, and lots of other people have had this experience. Oops, that's the wrong way. Hey everybody, I'm so tired and so hungry right now. I can't function hardly. Yeah, I think this is more than enough conclusive proof. We're at 53 minutes in a second. And we can't drain even a single hundredth of a volt off of the battery. 53 minutes on the dot. Holding absolutely steady. It's honestly shocking. And I have seen it flash 4.83 at me multiple times since doing this. You can't make this up. We're holding perfectly steady. There's no drain, there's no charge. It's equalized. Oh God, it's so intense. Look at that. The charging force is like starting to win over. This is when it might flash 4.83. Let's see if it does. I'm literally standing here this whole time because I don't have a whole filming set up or anything. This is a pain in the ass. I need to get some help to film stuff. This is so awesome. This is an everlasting light. This light is pretty bright. It's not a joke. There's still wireless power. Let me just grab this one. Let me see if this... I don't want to get near it because I can F it up. But let's see if this light, this whole strip will light. This whole strip is lighting. You can see the wireless energy coming off of here. This is just with my fingers, no antenna. That one's fucked up, but it works if, there you go. I like that one. I like that. When you add more load on it, it actually seems to work better. It charges more. Not messing around. See, it lights just by going near these wires. All these LEDs. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. You see that? Oh, that's so radical. That's so radical. Let me just set this down. It's so fucking radical. There's so much wireless coming off of here. With only 4.8 volts, 4.82. Look at that. Whoa. There's no drain on this. How long can my phone film for is the question. Last time it died on me before I could show the, like, an ending voltage on the battery pack. I gotta leave here soon, actually. Got a little bit of time. I have to go get dinner because I have not eaten today at all. At all. Every day I haven't eaten anything until late at night, and then I have like half of a meal because I'm kind of insane right now. I'm super out of it. All I can do is pray. And a miracle happened. This is insane. There is no drain. There is no drain. There's a charging force that's equalized to the draining force, making this light a free light. Literally free. Free E, if you know what I'm saying, you guys. Free E. It's the real kind of free. Flash me 483, let's do it. Flash me 483. Come on. I guess I don't really need it to, it's just holding steady for me this whole time. There's no drain. Look at that, the charging force is increasing now. It's just holding steady now. That tube is dimly lit, even though you can't really see it that well. It's a fluorescent tube that is lit wirelessly, just showing that there's all this radiant energy, even though this is on such a low voltage, and we're using all this, we have all this current going through that orange light. It's been powering this for an hour now. We're at an hour. I've done this 3 times. Filming this for an hour, showing it doesn't drain. Last night I did it twice. I filmed it for like an hour, and then later that night I filmed it again for another hour until my phone died, and that was continuous. I never charged the batteries between those videos, and I had it going way more than I could film. It was going for like 6 hours, and the battery did not get drained. And when I looked at it this morning, the batteries were higher than all the other times I checked it during that stuff. Like, it's insane. You can't make it up. When I'm done with this, I can disconnect this and let the batteries sit for a few minutes and then check their voltage. And it will actually be at least as high, I'm pretty positive, as when I started. And I mean, this proves it because we haven't gone down at all this entire time. But when I turn it off, I can check it. It's like a couple hundredths lower, and I let it sit and it just rises. I think I already showed that in this video. When you unplug it, it just starts rising in voltage until it gets at least as high as when it was when you started. That's a lot of current over there. There is no drain. That is the battery pack. There is no drain. This is insane. This is insane. It's an everlasting flame. This is the everlasting flame that I didn't even know that I was about to have. See that meter? It comes right over here. There's the black one to that side, and then here's the red one. Right to there. Ooh, you see it actually liked, I think it liked this a tiny bit being here. Let me put this back. If that does anything. Just by touching the wires, it fucks it up a tiny bit. It's very sensitive right now, especially because it's not connected. But yeah, it's hypersensitive. I don't want to fuck this up right now. I touched it and that caused an oscillation in there. Because these connections aren't connected, actually. They're not solid connections. There we go. The only time this has not worked right is when I get my hands in here and mess around in here and touch stuff. That's it. Other than that, it just keeps working. It was so stable. I fucked it up. It's the same voltage though. There you go. Yeah, there's radiant energy coming off of this entire system that I'm not even tapping into. Okay? There's radiant energy. It's wireless. We're way over an hour now. We're at an hour and 4:24. I've already done this for hours. Getting sick of doing this, actually. I'm filming this enough. This will be my last one for right now. I'll take a break. There is no tricks here on my life. This is real. There is no tricks. I can move this thing because it's not really doing anything. This out of here. Take this out of here. Okay, take this out of here. This is not doing anything. This has still got wireless juice. Look at this. Boom. Boom. It likes that. Oh, it likes that. Okay, there's nothing going on. I don't need this. None of this needs to be here. It is very sensitive right now. Try to keep this the same way. messy right now because I just brought all this crap over here. I'm about to try to set up a laboratory in here, but I need some tables. I need to find some tables to set everything up. I don't have very much storage, unfortunately. But with tables, I can have workstations and storage at the same time. And I can expand my kitchen too, which would be awesome. As you can see, those two cords are the only things that are plugged in, and they don't go anywhere. They're both just, they're just not plugged in. That's it. There's no more outlets over that way. I've shown this outlet before. There's my batteries charging that I rapidly drained before when I did something differently. They rapidly drained in seconds from powering the same shit. Okay, we're at the same voltage. An hour, going on an hour and 8 minutes, and there's not 1/100th of a voltage. Okay, we're tripping. We gotta go shower. I'm just gonna leave this here. Look how steady that is now. It's just super steady. It's just solid. Oh, I'm so hungry, my God. We're solid though. We're solid. Look at how solid. Ooh, what just happened? It went a speck dimmer, but the voltage went up. I'm not sure why it does that. Tap the table maybe. Yeah, it was the connection like slipping on the primary connection that's not connected. This is radical. This is radical. I've now done this over and over. I did this 3 times with the previous set of batteries, and those did not drain at all from doing this. They only drained once I did something different, and then they rapidly drained in seconds from powering this stuff. They're not the same way. So these batteries obviously have not drained. They're the same as when I started. I'm going to turn a little bit more light on to see, let you guys try to see a little bit better what's going on here. I don't want to turn the super bright white ones on. I hate them. I could for a second though. Look how solid that is. That's the battery voltage. Here's the cable. It comes right here. Okay, here's the black one. It comes right here, right to the black side. Goes to the batteries. Okay, this little baby is just see, that's not connected, so it's not doing anything. This is connected. I have radiant energy coming off of it. This black one here, I think I'm gonna get probably whacked, you guys, so I wish someone would see this video. I really do. I'm probably gonna get whacked for this. Okay, this doesn't, oops. This stuff doesn't need to be here. A lot of this stuff. This doesn't need to be here. None of this stuff needs to be here. It doesn't. If I bump anything, I'm screwed though. Gotta be careful. I can't believe how solid that is now. Before it was just constantly cycling, and now it's this is what happens when it increases. Sometimes it takes hours, and then all of a sudden the battery will actually, the voltage will actually increase on its own. I've seen it go up a bunch of points before while powering all this. I don't know if this is just this high voltage insane rectifier I made, and just by putting it there, it seemed to, just by setting it there, it seemed to help a little bit. These are the probes. Here's the red one. Okay, comes here. Probably turn this flash on. Okay, the probe, it comes here. Comes this way to here. The red side, the other red one comes here. And then it comes here into the circuit there. That's it. We're at an hour and 12 minutes. And this is now so solid that it doesn't even rock back and forth anymore. It's just boom. Boom, you guys. It's just boom. I mean, this is insanity. If you saw what I meant, how that black cord is like, it's just touching. It's barely touching. It's not connected. It needs to get like clipped on there somehow. Like soldered on there. I'm still finding the right place to touch it on the primary. That's the other thing, is I've barely experimented yet with that stuff. Okay, this light is just going into the end of that. Super precariously, it's just stuck in there. See that? It's just stuck in there. It's barely contacting. It's not a good contact in there. It's just barely touching the inner wall of the primary. So there's one end of it, and there's the other end of it. So we're using like the top two rungs. Yeah, the top two rungs of the primary is all. And look how far away they are too. This is not tightly coupled. It's not tightly coupled to the secondary. It's loosely coupled, which at this low power level, I think it would work better if I make a new, way tighter coupled primary, just right up on there. I think it'll work even better. Now, to not kill my battery, I'll turn this flash back off, but just to show you, there's no other wires, there's none. There is none. Okay, the only wires is, here's a black probe wire. Comes here. Comes here. Goes to there. Okay, the red probe wire comes here. Here. I could probably move this. Yeah, that's fine. I just took it out of here. Okay, the red one comes here. Back up into here. Then the other red wire goes here. Up to here and into the circuit. As you can see, there's no other wires anywhere. There's nothing back here. The only ones on this side are from the probe I've showed. This red one goes from the battery up here. Wait, yeah, this red one from the battery goes here. It goes up, yeah, it goes up here. And then into the circuit. You can see, I'll go on this side. Try to show this. There's nothing else back here. I don't want to show you this paper. Let me get this paper. Okay. There's nothing here. This is just like a tablecloth, because I don't own this table right now, and it's very, very fragile. The only thing plugged in is that light right there. Okay, as you can see. going anywhere. I'm sorry, it's a mess, you guys. I am sorry. Those don't go anywhere. That's it. That's insane, you guys. That's insane. made a couple other videos where I was like, started crying, and I deleted them because they're too insane, but you guys would cry too. This is radical. It's not just hyper efficient, it's not draining at all. There's no drain. It's not just hyper efficient, it's impossible according to the fake laws of physics we have right now. Okay, I'm gonna turn this flash off. I have only 20% battery left. I can't believe how steady that is now. It's not even rocking anymore. On my life, there's no fakes here. There's no tricks. This is 100% real. Swear to God, this is 100% real. There is no tricks. There is nothing but reality. I showed you those two chords over and over. They don't go anywhere. I showed you these two chords. They're the only ones that are like hanging on the edge here. Just because there's so much chords in them out of space. It's real messy. I'm gonna try to prototype this into like a better little box. A little suitcase or a little box. Okay, just to show you there's no batteries on this, of course. This is just one of these little breadboards. But the metal on the bottom helps. And if I touch this side of it with my fingers, then it becomes a very efficient, let me turn this flash off. Then it becomes an efficient receiver for this wireless energy. It's not as bright as I thought it was before. See, that goes higher when I go near it like that. It's lighting these LEDs on this board, and the voltage in the batteries just went higher. Can that be explained? I don't think so. Not right now. Set this here. That was higher when I was near it and like making those lights light. Oops, don't do that. Okay. I'm just setting it that way so you can see that one of those lights is lit just because it's close to these other lights. That light is lit just dimly. This whole system is freaking working. I'm gonna turn the lights out just to show you that fluorescent tube. The orange light is so bright that it's like washing this out, but you can see that tube is in fact lit. It's just not that bright. It's wirelessly lit. That's an unopened coil of wire that it's just happened to fit into, so it's like a base that's keeping it standing upright. That's all it is. I mean, this is literally impossible. I'm at an hour and 20, almost an hour and 22 minutes. See that? We just cycled to 4.83. This is impossible. Impossible. In reality, it's going up. The voltage is going up and not down. It is going up. Can that be explained at all? No. Not really. Okay. I'm gonna take a shower and I'm gonna let this film probably until either it dies or I get out. I'll turn one of these lights back on. Okay, I'm gonna get a shower. We're at an hour and 23 minutes and 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, it'll be an hour and 23 minutes of this video. 1 hour and 23 minutes now. See if my battery will last to finish this video. I'll be back. See, it's hitting 4.83 sometimes now. Impossible. Making me so mad that people don't believe me, that people think this is not real. It's making me super mad, but I can't do anything about it. This has hit 4.83 repeatedly in the last short time. There it goes. See, it's starting to charge now. The charging is actually overtaking the drain. Okay? Okay, I'm getting the whole thing in one shot. Let me try to turn it this way. That board doesn't need to be there, but it doesn't hurt either. I've showed you these cords over and over. I've showed you under the little edges of the table. Showed you over here. There's nothing there. This light is really awesome. This is a sick light. Okay, but I'm showing you everything. There's no cords back here. There's nothing back there. There's nothing here. Just showing you the wireless energy is here. Okay. One of those LEDs is actually lit right now. That fluorescent tube is lit, even though it's hard to see. There's wireless energy coming off of everything. Where's my lights? Here they are. You see that? This lights up near anything connected. Radiant energy is everywhere. The voltage is the same. Oh my god, that's awesome. What am I? What? Okay. And by the way, we're at an hour and 26:20. Hour and 26:20, and we haven't lost. We're actually gaining 1/100th of a volt on the batteries. We're actually gaining right now. We're actually gaining and we're not losing it. Oh, it's intense right now. Oh, that's intense right now. Oh. We're at 4.83. We're at 4.83. We're at 4.83. Oh. Oh. We're at an hour and 28 minutes. We're at an hour and 28 minutes and 28 seconds. No. Oh, that's so beautiful. I knew Jesus would do this. I knew you'd do this. Thank you, Jesus. He's pretty good. He likes fun, they say. He likes to have fun and laugh. He has fun with people. Yeah. I study near-death experiences, and a lot of people report meeting him. Whether they see him or not, it depends. They sometimes do, sometimes don't, but they very frequently he's with them. Sometimes they meet face to face, sometimes he's like right behind their back, and he like may put his hand on your shoulder, or you just know he's right behind you, and then he takes you on a journey through the universe, or the spiritual dimension, takes you on a journey through it. So that's pretty cool. Okay, there we go. Is that normal, you guys? Is that normal? Anybody want to challenge me to do this? Dude, I challenge you people. This is so fucking easy, and that's why some of you will probably try to do it, because I'm telling you, it's easy. It's not hard to do this. I don't know. There's a few like little details, but this is literally so easy. I'm a retard and I can do this. It's so easy. Okay, the battery's cycling up in charge, not down. It is cycling up. At the end of this video, the voltage is higher than what it was like an hour ago. That is a 12 volt light. Okay, see that red connection there? That red connection, see, this is not actually touching it. That red connection is very precariously connected right there. It's like a joke. That red wire comes up here, and then it's just like going in kind of a little loop because there's too much. It's going, oh yeah, it's connecting to this little junction where there's 3 wires connected. One of those is a white wire. That littler one is a white wire, and it's, see, let me just move it to show you guys. I hope this doesn't fuck it up. Okay, it's not doing anything. That white wire comes out here, and it goes into the transistor. It's kind of hard to see, but it goes into the middle one. You see that? You can move this. It goes into there. The other end, see, from the light, this red one comes here, goes here, and then this one comes out here to the toroid, which is my custom secret toroid. Don't even copy this right now, because I'm probably gonna sell these, because I need to make money doing something that I've put so much time into, and I don't want to do my job anymore than I have right now. I'm self-employed, but my work is like, it's toxic. We can just say that. I have an effed up nose, and it's honestly killing me. So I think I'm gonna start making some of these parts and like selling them to people, and you can just experiment and play with it. See, watch, if I touch If I touch one of these wires, you'll see the number get affected on the voltage. Let me see, I'll try touching this one. I can't believe how solid that is now. It just doesn't even, it's just so solid. My phone is probably gonna die before I get out of the shower, but I gotta go in a second. Yep. This is so awesome. I can't even explain it right now. Okay. is still recording. I'm hoping my phone is still recording. I'm hoping it's not dead. Still recording. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. We're at an hour and 47 minutes and almost 30 seconds. 1 hour, 47 minutes, 30 seconds now. My phone's on 5%. Let me just plug it in for 1 second. I think the last thing I could do right now is, okay, I'm gonna plug it in over there. Let's take this cord. I just took a freaking nice, good, long shower. I have to go in a couple minutes. I'm gonna plug this in. I'm gonna unplug these. Plug my phone in. Now, like, the last thing I could do right now is I can unplug this whole circuit. I mean, we're going on 2 hours now with this light. There's hundreds of LEDs. That tube is lit, even though it's hard to see. Let me see if you can see better like this at all. You can tell it's lit. Just showing the wireless field is very present. We're not gonna change on the voltage. It's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I didn't know this could happen. It's sensitive. It will very, very, very slowly lose a charge if you don't have it hooked up in whatever way it likes. I've seen it like go down a tiny, tiny bit. I think there's also a voltage that's necessary to make it work. If you try to do this with batteries that are too low in voltage, this won't work, but I need to see what the upper limit is. How high can I go? But at this range of like 4.7, 5.2, like that definitely works. I'm not sure what the bottom voltage is, but when it gets much below 4, it stops to work the same way. It'll still work, but it'll slowly lose a charge. I think if you go much below 4 volts into the system, with this battery pack starting out at 5.12 volts, that's perfect. And it reads 4.82 while it's under load. Because it's under load, the voltage reads a little bit lower. And then when I disconnect the battery pack, the voltage will, within 5 minutes, it's like a surface charge. I don't know what the hell it is, but the voltage will slowly climb back up to 5.12 volts. We'll see what it does this time. But yeah, we're at an hour and 50 minutes. That light could be even brighter if that tube wasn't there, but that tube being there seems to help the whole system resonate and provide equal charge to the discharging batteries. So, but I'm gonna move this tube real quick just to show that light gets brighter, because that tube is putting a little bit of a load on this limited voltage here. It's wireless, but it's in the near field, so I can move it further and I can actually keep it lit, but the light should go brighter. It'll change this voltage. I just wanted you guys to see this voltage staying ultra steady for hours. It doesn't drain. It doesn't drain. I mean, we watched it going up, in fact. We watched it going to 4.83 a whole bunch. But it's just so stable now. This is the most stable I've seen it. Like, for hours, it doesn't move up or down 1/100 of a volt. It's just locked in place. But I showed you when I touch anything, it will change it. Let's see what happens if I just touch the batteries. I need to, yeah. Let's see what happens if I touch this wire. See that? Okay, that's awesome. Basically, I'm just gonna, if I touch any of these wires coming off the battery. See, here's the battery, here's the wires. I'm gonna touch this black one. We're gonna watch the voltage. Yeah, it does the same thing. It goes up and the load goes down. I don't know exactly. It's altering the, I think it was altering the resonant frequency or something. Where was I at the whole time? I forgot. Anyways, I'm gonna unplug this. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna unplug it. Okay, you see this? Okay, it's unplugged. And look at that. There's this weird phenomenon where there's a residual. Oh, that's touching. There's a residual charge that still circulates. Okay, there's no battery connected anymore. Oh, let me get it off of there. Yeah, no, there's no batteries connected anymore. That's the terminals. And there's this micro voltage that's still oscillating in the system without anything. Like, how's there a voltage in there? And this meter works. It goes to 0, 0, 0 when there's nothing there. It does. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the voltage on the battery with it disconnected, and we're gonna see what it looks like. It was at 5.12, and what I've observed is it can take a few minutes and it will rise up. I'll just show you the voltage rising on here. We're gonna see if the battery's degraded at all. The voltage has degraded. This is so awkward with doing this with the phone. Okay, it's at 4.956. It's gonna rise. So it's gonna take a few minutes. We're gonna watch it rise. I need to like clip these on here. Okay. I think I can stick it into there. Kind of. Oh crap. This is so awkward. Well, it's just staying here. I think you guys would agree that after 2 hours of running that 12-volt light strip and all this stuff, what I found was when I let this sit overnight, it was higher than where I started. So we'll see what this one shows a little later. This was at 5.12. Are you going to increase? Yeah, it's trying to increase. There it goes. So you can see there's been basically no degradation on this battery. I can let it just sit here for hours and hours and hours running. Will it continue to rise? The other one did. This one's at a little bit higher voltage than the other one. Oh, these probes are so annoying. I wish they didn't have something. Okay, well, it's showing this. If I let this keep sitting, I believe it will climb back up. And it will show right about the same voltage as where you started with hours ago. We're at 1 hour and 57 minutes. And you know what it is that there was a tiny bit of like surface charge to start with. These batteries were new from the factory. I literally just opened the box. I just cracked the seal. They've never been used or charged before, and they've been sitting for a few months. So I have a picture of it when I checked their voltage fresh, and it was 5.12, but I think that kind of is including like a tiny bit of surface charge is what we tend to call it. Like lead acid batteries, they'll show that type of phenomenon. They'll have a tiny bit of surface charge it'll show a little bit higher voltage than where it's really at, and as soon as you connect it, it'll instantly drop a little bit, and then it'll be steady because the real voltage was a little bit lower than the surface charge. These batteries are rated for 5 volts. You charge these batteries with a 5-volt charger. That's the truth. It's right there. Look this up. EBL AA. Those are the batteries. Those are the same ones. 2800 amp hour AA. Now, see, this is climbing 4.98. This is climbing. I don't know what this phenomenon is, but these batteries charge at 5 volts. I can show you on the back of their charger. Let's just do that. This is the charger, and this is what it says on it. 5 volts. The input is 5 volts. It has a USB thing. You can charge it off a computer, USB. It's all 5 volts. 5 volts. So 5 volts is an actual full charge on here. And if it shows over 5 volts, it's like some kind of a surface charge phenomenon. This is the actual. This is it. These are nickel. Or no, this thing can charge nickel metal hydride or nickel cadmium. I'm not positive which type these are, but they are. These are the same batteries. Okay. AA. They're 1.2 volts. See that? .2 volts. That's like, so 2.4 for 2 of them and 4.8 for 4 of them, and they get charged maximally with 5 volts. 5 input DC 5 volts. See there? It's mini USB, whatever, USB-C or something. That's USB. Okay, this charger here that I just connected to it. I don't think this one came with it. I don't think it came with this part. But this is a 5 volt, and this is what I'm charging them with. It's a 5 volt. So for these batteries to run for hours, okay. Same batteries. 1.2 volts, AA, 2800 milliamp hour. they're fully charged. They're at 5 volts after all these hours, and I think it might even climb higher. If I check this again tomorrow morning, it will literally, very likely it will read higher than 5 volts. So and just to show you one more time that this is really what's powering this whole circuit here, I'll just touch the connection again. See this? That's the power for the whole circuit. Turn this way and I'll touch this to it. Oh, what'd you do? Wait a second. Why isn't that? What the fuck? Oh, because this came out. 1 second. See that? That red side is so janky. See that? Okay, if I disconnect this, and then I do the same thing, nothing happens. If I reconnect this, and then I touch this to here, okay, there's that wire to the battery. Okay, disconnect this side. Show the voltage one more time. This is so radical, you guys. I'm gonna get taken out probably. I wish you would see this video. See, we've climbed to 4.99. Okay. This is the probe wires. They're probe wires. They're going. There's the red one. Oops. There we go. Okay, the black one. .99. It's gaining back a little bit of that surface charge. It's like some kind of phenomenon. I don't know how it works, but this is fully charged to the dot. These batteries charge at 5 volts, period. And they're at 5 volts. There's no more proof than this. This is actually the most proven video I've ever seen in all of my life searching the internet. This is the most proven video I've seen in my entire life. No one's ever shown me something this clear and proven before. Like, this is radical. This is fucking radical. This video is not made for kids. All right, you guys. See you in the next one. I gotta go. We're well over 2 hours. We're at 2:06. 2 hours, 6 minutes. Peace. This has been T12. The Poise of Prophet, Sahaj, Aho Sahaj Saham. All right, later.